Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today as the judge, along with many of our community partners and elected officials here, will be kicking off a month of unity and healing as the second-year mark of the August 3rd tragedy approaches. With us today, we have County Judge Ricardo Samaniego, Dr. David Carrasco with Harvard University, Deborah Zulaga, President and CEO of United Way of El Paso County, and Ivan Rosales, our district attorney, all of these representatives here today will be speaking. After the presentation, the judge and our community partners will be available for questions. For those media outlets who are joining us virtually, please feel free to raise your hand, and we will call on you if you have a question after the presentation. And now I'd like to introduce our county judge, Ricardo Samaniego.
Thank you, Nicole. Today's a very special day, and it's even more special because I've got some incredible guests here. With us is Mayor Leeser, who has been quite a partner in everything that we're doing with COVID and everything we've had to face. It's so nice to have him here, and I know he's always shown support, and I know that the support we'll get from him and the city will be just amazing. You've got a lot of activities that I'll be talking about. We also have representatives, Ricardo from the Consul and Brenda from the Consul Mexicano, who have been amazing. Consul Ibarra has always been by our side of anything that we have to do that represents our culture, that continues to help us with our culture and maintain the beautiful culture that we have. It's El Consulado Mexicano, so we thank them to be here. And then we'll have other guests that we'll be introducing as well. As I said, we have a great opportunity today. Is the beginning of Unity and Healing Month, and we feel extremely good about that because it'll be an opportunity for our community to show who we are. I think our community understands our generosity, they understand who we are, they understand everything that we do for refugees or for anyone that needs anything from us, especially what happened on August 3rd. But today, we have an opportunity through our Healing and Unity Month, we have a great opportunity to show the rest of the world. We have an opportunity to be the sort of the stimulus of healing and unity that we hope that catches on. And I'll talk a little bit about how Dr. Carrasco, who will be speaking today as well, will be helping us taking it to a national forum. So to be precise, I have a written statement that I have that I'd like to read to all of you, and then I'll make some other comments after that. So on August 3rd, 2019, our community was forever changed by a senseless, terrible, and painful event. 23 lives were taken that day, and many, many were injured. The pain that was felt in El Paso and across our border echoed throughout the nation as we all continue to mourn the beautiful lives that were taken. Our office, along with our public works departments, have been working very hard to create a beautiful place to unite, to reflect and to heal for everyone who was deeply impacted. Move this. Over the past few months, we have called upon our educational partners, our art community, local leaders and organizations near and far to participate in a month of unity and healing, to help light a path toward goodwill as we approach the second anniversary of the tragedy that befell on our community. This special series of events, conversations, and activities will take place July 3rd to August the 3rd, as the county plans to unveil the Healing Garden on August the 3rd, 2021. Events will include activities such as healing and unity through education, physical activity, art, music, public service, acts of kindness, and other creative programs. We like to stress acts of kindness because I think this is what is going to be sort of the underlying, the overarching approach that we have here in our community. A month of unity and healing will truly enhance with the conversations I've had with Dr. Carrasco with Harvard University, as he has been able to connect me with Ellen Elms and the 23 portraits she created. You will see these portraits shortly during our month of reflection. Dr. Carrasco will be speaking later today. One of the things that we have done to ensure that the families stay connected to this project is ensuring that they were part of planting 23 trees at the Healing Garden site. We have our DA today, Ivan Rosales, who has been keeping the families informed. We have Deborah Zuluaga with United Way here, as they have taken the lead in promoting our Love for El Paso website, where you will be able to find many of the events we have planned for you. Examples of activities is the film debut, which we're very proud of A Song for Cesar, a documentary not only a tribute to the legacy of Cesar Chavez, but also a testament to the role that the arts plays transforming communities, directed by Abel Sanchez and Andres Alegria. This will be held during the Plaza Film Festival. Emergence Health Network, which has been a great partner, and the Center Against Sexual and Family Violence, the El Paso Child Guidance Center, are all hosting free wellness activities. Chef Puga, another great and amazing partner, is doing a flavorful healing that will be free for the community to join as well. Please check out this event on the Love for El Paso website. I'm so thankful to everyone who has committed to the success of this initiative. As the Consul Ibarra, Congresswoman Escobar, our Mayor Leeser, Senator Blanco, as well as our state representatives, we are all in this together. So I finish by saying only in unity can we bring out the best in humanity and overcome the hatred in our society that led to this horrible act. If we teach our children at a young age to be compassionate, accepting, and understanding of the differences that make us diverse, then they will have the power to truly make a difference in the world and prevent the tragedies such as this one that happened to us this past 2 years, this 3rd of August. I'd like to have, before we start, this is a very important part, is like I said, the reflection, the meditation. We're dealing with so many things of the compound effect that we've had with the pandemic, with what happens with the refugees, trying to do as much as we can. And one of the words we keep hearing is the compound effect that we have gone through. So reflection and meditation are going to be a big part. I really look forward to be able to go, anyone that goes into the Healing Garden will leave different, will leave in a way that wants to help the rest of the community. And people ask me, like what? And I go back, and I heard this from Rabbi Greenberg, and he says, you know, acts of random kindness. Every single day we have an opportunity to have an act of kindness. It could be opening the door to someone, it could be anything. So don't hold back thinking that you have to do some incredible thing for this Unity and Healing Month. It's just a matter of doing something that portrays the love that we have here in our community. So what I'd like to start off, and we'll be able to see some of the footage, but I'd like to start off, if you please, everyone here, just have a moment of reflection. Thank you. We will have Ms. Elms will be here on July 31st through the 3rd of August on our celebration. And we'll also have, we're trying to see, Dolores Huerta has committed to trying to be on the 31st on Song for Cesar, but we'll definitely be here for the August 3rd ceremony. So we have some incredible things happening, and I hope that El Paso really engages. So once again, thank you very much. So Month of Healing and Unity will start tomorrow. Thank you.
Speaking next, we have Dr. David Carrasco, a professor with Harvard University.
Okay, can you hear me okay? I'm actually speaking to you from my daughter's home in Florida. I just arrived last night, but I wanted to make sure I was a part of this very important moment in the history of El Paso. So thank you, Judge Samaniego, and all of you for your effective and caring leadership. For those of you who don't know me, I'm David L. Carrasco, the Neil L. Rudenstein Professor of the Study of Latin America at Harvard University, at the Divinity School, and the Department of Anthropology. I'm a grandson of El Paso. My family has lived in El Paso for over 100 years. After my grandmother, Carlota, came from Bato Pilas in the Cañón de Cobre into El Paso during the Mexican Revolution. There she married my grandfather, Miguel Carrasco, who some of you may know as the founder and the head teacher of the Smelter Vocational School at Asarco, which helped educate and support the families of Mexicans for many generations. My father, David Carrasco, was born in the Segundo Barrio, and he became the director of the El Paso Job Corps Center when it was at the Hotel Cortez. That Job Corps Center now is named after him, the David L. Carrasco Job Corps Center. So I feel honored to be part of this family and a supportive member of this month of healing and unity. On the first anniversary of the attack at the Walmart in El Paso, I was concerned that El Paso's significance and the suffering symbolized in that attack was downplayed in the national discourse about gun violence, racism, and also the cultural creativity of people in the Mexican-American borderlands. And I wrote a piece called Saying the Mexican Names, which I hope can be made available to all of you. That was published at Harvard University and got some good dissemination. And what I wanted to say was that while we were hearing the names of so many other people in the country who have been cut down, people often left out the Mexican names. And it occurred to me that some people, even some of my friends in the media and in intellectual circles, they have some trouble with the word Mexican. They would say Latinx or Latino or something like that, which is important. But they wouldn't say the word Mexican. And so I wanted to say the Mexican names. And Ellen Elms, an educator and a valued muralist in Appalachia, 1,600 miles away from El Paso, she read the piece. And she was so moved that she spent 23 days painting the 23 portraits that you now see before you. 23 days up in Appalachia in the mountains. She did research on each person's face and on their names. And you'll see that in each of these portraits, she not only presented the humanity of these people, their living spirit, she's also put their names, that is the mythological meaning of their names. And here you see them. The first portrait on the upper left is Javier, the youngest victim. And the last portrait on the right is Luis, the oldest victim, with people of all different ages and passages in life in between, including 4 married couples. So working, Elms's purpose was simply to do these paintings, and she came to me and see if I could help get the paintings to the families in Juarez and in El Paso. We got in touch with the very able DA Esparza. He worked with the families and other agencies in El Paso. We were able to deliver these paintings as Christmas gifts to the family in the spirit of this healing garden, in the sense it was part of one of the early steps of the idea of the healing garden. Let me talk to you as an historian of religions just for a minute about the symbolism of the healing garden. You got to take seriously these words, healing garden, because healing presupposes injury. It presupposes illness. It presupposes a disease, like the massacre on August 3rd at the Walmart. And it symbolizes not only the injury to the families, but to the people of El Paso. Not only the people who whose family members were killed, but all of the injured, but also the psyche of El Paso, the social trauma and the psychological trauma. And we know what the disease is in part. It's a disease of gun violence and white supremacy. Remember, the killer said, "I came here to kill as many Mexicans as possible." Now, a member of the El Paso religious leadership, Monsignor Arturo Bañuelas, said it very well in another article that was published at Harvard University. When reflecting on the insurrection of January the 6th, he said, look, the community on the Mexico-US borderland has endured the intimidation of border militias, along with the struggle, or the surging struggle of migrants, the 2019 murder of an El Paso County Sheriff deputy, the tremendous coronavirus pandemic, and then the mass shooting, the worst attack of Latinos in modern US history. So he was saying for the longest time, what happened in Washington, D.C. has been brewing on the border. What happened in D.C., he said, has been lived here on the border for many years. Now, how did El Paso respond to this? It's responded with a healing garden, not a monument, although there's monuments there. You put up a monument when there's something monumental that people think in the community is monumental, and this was a monumental thing, but the healing garden is about curing, not just remembering. It's about restoration. It's about hope of transformation coming out of this. There's a dialogue there between stone and plants, between the hard and the permanent, and the soft and the regenerative. And it's also saying to the people who have tried to put a boot in the face of Mexican and Mexican Americans in the recent years, that we will not imitate your cruelty with ours. We will not arm ourselves with violence. It reminds me of that Caribbean song that some of you know, which says, para el cruel que arranca el corazón con que vivo, for the cruel one who rips out the heart that I live with, I will not cultivate bitterness and hatred. Instead, I will cultivate a white rose, of flowers, that is the healing garden, meaning caritas, love, solidarity with the injured. So this is a healing garden. It's very important to think about this. Don't just let those words pass by. In the desert of pain and injury, to create a space that acknowledges the winter of our grief, but responds each year with the spring of new life and beauty and the faces of the living. Now, I'm coming to the end of my comment here. I tried to join El Paso's political, cultural, and religious leadership and the press to help spread this story, the story of El Paso, not only this most recent one, but the larger story of El Paso. And I've helped to form a growing national group of educators and several filmmakers to spread the good news of the healing garden, of this healing initiative. Locally, we've been inspired by the El Paso Community College philosopher Manuela Gomez, joined by another El Pasoan, Christopher Tires, who was born in El Paso, educated there, is now a rising star at DePaul University. A number of institutions at Harvard, not only the Harvard Divinity School, but the David Rockefeller Center for the Study of Latin America, are all part of this attempt to take the El Paso story and to make it a national story. We're bringing in July not only Ellen Elms, the painter, other people from Harvard University, the staff, a graduate student, undergraduates who are skilled photographers and writers to help join with the local press in telling the story. And we're really trying to do two things. As Judge Samaniego said, we're bringing the song for Cesar, this tremendous song by these two, this tremendous movie based on the cultural and political creativity around the Cesar Chavez movement. And we're bringing the producers and the directors to be part of this. And we want this film to then be spread throughout the country and everywhere it goes to tell the El Paso story as well. The other thing we're trying to do is to open up a dialogue with a number of other universities who, over the next several years, anytime there's an Hispanic Heritage Month, will tell the story of the Healing Garden. And we're talking with a number of educators, both in El Paso and throughout the country, to make this story centered on the Healing Garden a part of future ways in which people talk about the identity of the United States, its cultural identity, and how it needs to bring more caritas into the story. Finally, what I want to say about the paintings that you see here, and the efforts that I'm joining some El Paso leadership with, is I see this in relationship to another word that's very powerful in Mexico, and that's convivencia. This is about convivencia. You're living with the living and having the living honor the dead, and being convivencia with those ancestors of ours who have made us who we are and who have suffered and who have recreated. To me, convivencia doesn't just mean the party. It doesn't just mean living together with family. To me, and this is my last point, it really means giving the upper hand to life over death. We all know that destructiveness can come from anybody, from any community, from any culture. And we look for those cultures that want to give life the upper hand. And that's what these paintings mean. To me, that's what the Healing Garden is. It's convivencia in flowers, in trees, in stones, and in actions. So thank you very much for including me as a supporter in this day and in this month of unity and healing.
Thank you, Dr. Carrasco, for joining us. Speaking next, we have Deborah Zulaga, President and CEO of United Way of El Paso County.
Good morning. I want to thank the mayor, the county judge, the district attorney for being here today to talk to us about this sad but very important milestone that we are reaching. In the wake of August 3rd, 2019, local, state, and community agencies identified the need to stand up a resiliency center for the long-term healing of our community. In collaboration with the county and the city governments and funding through the Office of the Governor, United Way of El Paso County was entrusted to be the backbone agency for the center and lead the long-term efforts for the entire community. The El Paso United Family Resiliency Center opened its doors on December 19, 2019, offering a place of healing and support dedicated to serving those directly and indirectly impacted by this tragedy. The Family Resiliency Team is comprised of resource navigators who, through personalized case management, connect individuals and families to credible programs and services to address their specific needs. Our United Way through the Family Resiliency Center is dedicated to the long-term healing of the community. In addition to helping individuals navigate through community resources, the Family Resiliency Center is working to reduce mental health stigma through education, outreach, and targeted messaging. The lives of all El Pasoans were forever changed by August 3rd, 2019. As we approach the 2-year mark, the Family Resiliency Center aims to unite El Pasoans to honor those we lost and send love to those deeply impacted. Last year, the Family Resiliency Center took the lead in hosting a very well-received Luminaria Remembrance Drive-Thru with more than 3,000 cars joining in the remembrance. This year, our Family Resiliency Center will once again host our Luminaria Drive-Thru at Escarate Park, which will be lit and lined by luminarias intended to allow guests to remember together but safely at a distance. As the cars drive through the park, they will be able to reflect and commemorate with the sounds and melodies of local musicians spread throughout the park. The Luminaria path will symbolize the community's road to a resilient future. Our Luminaria Remembrance Drive-Thru will take place the evenings of July 30th and 31st from 8:30 p.m. to 11 p.m. In collaboration with El Paso County and as part of the Month of Unity and Healing, we provide and promote community-wide opportunities that are listed in our Love for El Paso website. On our website, you will find an array of commemorative events that aim to foster resilience and appreciation for El Paso's rich history and heritage. You can visit the website at elpasounitedfrc.org. www.familyresilienceCenter.org/love4elpaso. The Family Resilience Center is available to all El Pasoans year-round. We provide programming in non-traditional therapies and support services for specialized populations to promote resiliency and encourage healing throughout our community. These non-traditional therapies include creative arts, movement-focused therapies, workshops, and much more. In addition, as part of our outreach efforts, we have created United and Resilient, a podcast designed to have honest conversations with local leaders, mental health specialists, and fellow El Pasoans who share their heartfelt stories and expertise. Our United Way is extremely proud to collaborate with our city and our county officials to provide guidance and support to those who have been impacted by the August 3rd tragedy. Thanks to these partnerships, we ensure to deliver the impactful mental health services, programming, and non-traditional therapies. Our United Way partners with more than 15 partners of providing healing services, and for more information on those, please visit elpasounitedfrc.org. We want to thank the community, thank the mayor, thank the county judge for allowing us to be a part of this important month of healing, and know that your United Way and the Family Resiliency Center is there all year long to provide for services to all El Pasoans who've been impacted by this tragedy. Thank you.
Speaking next, we have our District Attorney, Yvonne Rosales.
Good morning, everyone. Judge Samaniego, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this wonderful event, and for everybody involved in creating this Unity 30 Days of Healing event. It's a spectacular program which will allow many of our community members to start going through the healing process. I would ask everybody in the community to please reach out to anybody that you know that was indirectly impacted by the tragic events of August 3rd. Remember where you were. Remember how you felt when you heard what was happening to members of our family in this community. And I'm going to say our family because El Paso is a family, whether we're related or not. We are a very unique city. I've heard this from many other individuals who come and visit us, that El Paso is very connected. We're a very loving community and a very strong community. So don't forget that even though we're not related by blood, we are related just by being an El Pasoan. Please take time to remember the individuals that were indirectly impacted, and by that I mean the first responders, the emergency personnel, our firefighters, our law enforcement agents, because this tragic event impacted them just as much as it did the victims that were actually in Walmart and the families of the victims of Walmart. The deep psychological and emotional impact that it had on our first responders and our medical personnel runs deep with them too. So please do not forget them as we start approaching the August 3rd anniversary. Reach out to them. Sometimes they need a hug, sometimes they don't feel like talking about the event, they don't want to remember it, but just offer them the encouragement and the support. Please talk to them about possibly attending these events that are geared towards providing them with information that they need and the coping skills and these wonderful events that will help them get through this process. This grieving process is going to take a long time for us to heal from. It's not going to be gone in 2 years, 3 years. It will be forever embedded in our hearts and in our memories. So as we always approach August 3rd, we will always need to be there for each other and support each other and offer those random acts of kindness. If it's a kind word, or asking somebody to go have a cup of coffee, just to ask, how are you doing? Those simple words can have a huge impact. So please, let's not forget all of the individuals, which is basically everybody in this community who was affected on that day. The district attorney's office has been in more communication with the victims and the families at Walmart. However, we will make ourselves available if anybody wants to reach out to us so that we can provide them with list of services that are available throughout this community for anybody who feels that they just need to know, where can I go to get some help? I need to talk. I need to find a way to go through this grieving process. We will also make those resources available to them. Thank you.
Thank you, our DA, Ms. Rosales, and she's absolutely right. We have an appreciation day when we light the Christmas lights at Escarate. It's forever will be our appreciation of all our healthcare workers, all our first responders. But as our DA was saying, every single day, when you have to reach out and make that 911 call, it all begins. And from that point, all the way through to help you and assist you. And that's been in every situation. We have one of the best law enforcements that you can imagine. Our Sheriff's Department, we're so proud of, our Police Department. One of the accolades that we get throughout the country is that our law enforcement, our immigration, and our partnerships, the mayor, myself, are just very different from most communities. And I hope that there's a sense of appreciation for that. So once again, we thank you for being here. I'd like to ask if the media has any questions at this time, either through our, that are off-site or here today. Are there any questions that we can address for you? You know, Nicole, if there's any online? No? Once again, Mayor, thank you very much. Our DA and everybody, Deborah, Consulado Mexicano, everyone that's here today, we thank you. Let's move forward really good on this, and we've got 4th of July coming up. Please, please be safe. As you know, our index has declined, and so there will be fireworks, and so we need to keep safe, and so that next year when they come to me about that issue, I can look back and say we had an amazing 4th of July, and of course, your fireworks at Escarate Park are going to be sensational, and hope to see all of you there. Once again, thank you for being here with us today. Thank you.